Our valedictorian this year is Seung Min Han. Seung Min came to Shattuck St. Mary's in 10th grade from Seoul, South Korea. He is a proud member of the major and the first student from the program to receive our valedictorian honor. Seung Min is an independent, open-minded, creative, and deep thinker with a humble nature. When in the classroom, he never sticks to a singular academic lens. If he's in physics, calculating space and time, he thinks about the connection to perception and cognitive psychology. In the studio, his artwork is influenced by geometry, science, spirituality, and the universe. He is genuine. There's no subterfuge, no play acting, no put-ons, nothing designed to impress or awe. He recognizes strengths in others and is a compassionate and soul-deep, kind human being. Seung Min, we are very proud of you and all you have accomplished here at Shattuck St. Mary's School. Please welcome the Shattuck St. Mary's 2022 valedictorian, Seung Min Han.
Good morning, everyone. Surely, I can't be the only one who thinks it is ridiculous that I stand here to give you a life lesson only because of my GPA. You are about to get a life lesson from the biggest, sweatiest nerd in this school. My point is, I'm not going to pretend that I know better than you all who are fundamentally differently talented. Now, bear with me. This speech is not going to end up as me asking you to put a big smile on your faces for being differently talented, which sounds oddly insulting. In fact, I'm not going to ask anything, as I am only but a senior like you, equally excited and anxious about graduating high school. Before this commencement ends, before our high school memory becomes what merely lingers in our yearbook, I would like us to reflect. How was your last day of school? Not simply good, not simply bad. How was it? How was your last class? How was your last small talk with your teacher? How was your last hangout in the hub? How was your last check-in with your dorm parents? How was your last walk into school? How was your last walk out of school? Although we expected to graduate, we did not expect to leave. Although we expected to graduate, we did not expect to leave. The memory of those mundane activities will feel different once this commencement is over. You will drive under the arch, yet those minute events, will stay here, where they are supposed to be. Today, our high school years end, just as everything ends. Sorry to remind you on a joyful day like today, but it is obvious that our lives will end too. Someday. What is not obvious, though, is what this really means to us. Let me try to throw in some scientific facts as an attempt to make it clearer. The facts are, you have been asleep since the birth of the universe, which is about 13.7 billion years old. And for 13.7 billion years, you were feeling nothing in nothingness. Please do me a favor and close your eyes for 4 seconds. Ready, set, go. It is only a fraction of the intensity of the nothingness we have endured. And you have been asleep for eternity, only to be awake for a speck of time. You waited for eternity to get what you have right now, right here, in this very moment. Right now, we have the ability to be present, to open our eyes and feel something, do something. We are experiencing what it is to be truly awake. One day, you will have your last conversation with your loved one. One day, you will have your last thought. One day, you will have your last glance at the world, etc., etc. It's so long. And finally, one day, you will take your last breath. After these last routine but undeniably beautiful moments of life, you will sleep back into the nothingness for God knows how many more eternities. That is what the end of life really means. And hold on, that is what living life really means. You're probably expecting a punchline now. Some clever wisdom that dictates to one how should live about our life. I'm sorry to tell you, I don't have such a thing. I'm a high schooler, dang it. The truth is, I can't even dictate to myself how to live. But I do have hopes. I have hopes. Hopes that we may or may not accept. I hope we are grateful, at least a little, to have this rare opportunity to be awake and to exist. I hope we are present, keeping ourselves awake, despite how routine and repetitive life may often feel. I hope we are content, perhaps not happy, but content about our lives for how precious it is. And lastly, I hope our living is worthy and loving. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2022. We made it.